Hello everyone, welcome to season 7?
Oh, is it 7?
6?
Is it 6 or 7?
Oh,
We should
God
know this.
damn it. We really should know this. What's going on?
One
Dave
moment.
Keane.
One moment.
Hang on, I can find out
We can
really,
find
really
out.
quickly.
That's what
Really
I was thinking.
quickly.
We can go on to
Season 8. Oh, I was completely
season 8.
wrong.
Oh,
We're season
I
8.
was still on season 6.
No
Okay.
idea.
Yeah.
Of course we're not on season 6. Do you know why
Well,
we're not
no,
on
'cause
season
we've
6?
got more than 6
Because
to
we've
pick.
got
Yeah.
more than 6
Of course,
more than
yeah.
6 seasons to cover in
I
this
don't know
season.
what I'm talking about.
So, take 2. Hello everyone, welcome to season 8, episode 6 of I See Bad Movies. Yay!
Yay!
This is our final episode in the Ones That Got Away season.
I know, and I'm sad because it's been a good season.
It has been a good
I mean,
season.
we've had a bit of a downer last time, but
yeah.
other than that, it's been pretty good.
Yeah, Spawn was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. But obviously, everyone, I'm one of your hosts, Dave Keane, and I am joined by the down to earth,
I'll see what you did
very
there.
grabby,
Don't
snake
give me a
tongued
reputation.
Emma Spicer.
Hi. When he says snake tongued, I haven't had that weird thing done where they cut their tongue and... Have you seen that?
See,
The body modification where they cut their
yeah.
tongue and they have the snake tongue. It's
now,
disgusting.
there's a little bit of me that's like, if I had that done, what if I was the one person that couldn't do the little
yeah,
bit
because
where
they
they
can
move them?
control them individually, can't they? Which
Yeah.
is weird. But also, how dangerous is that?
There's a lot of blood
There's
vessels
a
in
big,
the tongue.
yeah, but isn't
Yeah,
there like
yeah,
a
yeah.
big, massive artery in your tongue? Because when they
Yeah.
pierce your tongue, it's really dangerous as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're actually.
I know I said
cutting-
blood vessels, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's a really
That cannot
Yeah.
be good.
no. I mean, it
why?
must be
And
so
that's-
dangerous.
It's not reversible, is it? So they can't like stitch it
Imagine
back
you could
together.
maybe get it stitched back together,
Do you
but
think?
but
Why would you want to do that? I don't
Yeah.
understand. I mean, each their own, but
I don't know. It's the same
it's
thing. That
going
people,
too far, isn't it?
maybe it's like the same thing that people say when you get your tongue pierced. It makes a little bit better.
I
But
can't imagine that. That's
I honestly don't
weird.
know. I honestly don't know.
What about eating though? Would it make eating more difficult? You'd think, wouldn't you?
I tell you what, I'd be really good at. You know how sometimes you get like a little bit of food stuck in your teeth.
You could go in both directions.
Yeah, you could get it on. You could get a little bit on either side and just wet jimmy it down. You know,
Yeah.
maybe that's the
Worth having
secret.
done just for that.
Yeah, worth
I
having
think
it done.
it's like a lot of things. It's just gone a bit too far, isn't it? It's one thing to do piercings, then piercings got like more and more,
Yeah.
intimate piercings and stuff, which
Aye.
was just like okay, but
I mean, not for
Again,
me, but
no, not for
knock
me,
yourself out.
but
Absolutely.
it's just these things go a bit far, don't they? And then they've started putting things
Yeah.
inside the skin, haven't they? Like
Yes. Oh, yeah. Like the I know
yeah,
exactly.
So they've got like raised.
And there's
bits,
one guy that's got
raised
horns
shapes. Yeah.
under his skin as
What
well.
do they put in there?
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be something that
It's
won't.
not going to cause infection, obviously.
Yeah, and won't be rejected by the body
Yeah.
because ugh.
Well, but surely your body tries to reject anything that's not naturally in there, doesn't it?
I would
Isn't that
imagine.
not
Well, I don't
what
know
your
if
body
like
does?
hip replacements
Oh, hip
and things like
replacements and
that.
stuff. Yeah, they're
You know,
plastic, aren't they? I think now are they
Are they?
metal or plastic?
I don't know. Did they used to use
I can't remember what
titanium,
my dad
or
had.
is that like the posh ones you get?
I feel like my dad had plastic, but I have to ask him because he's
Yeah.
had one recently.
3D printed. Imagine how much cheaper it is now. Just get them 3D
Yeah.
printed. There you go. Yeah, no problem. Download that file. Yeah, I got a 3D printer. Want a new hip?
Well, have you
Slice-
watched The Day of the Jackal?
Not
Have you
yet.
watched that yet?
I've seen the original film, but not this one.
There's a guy in that 3D prints guns.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay.
See, that was
fair
the big.
enough.
I think that was a lot of the big fear about 3D printers was that people just go around printing guns.
Yeah,
Which, to be fair, you probably could do, but I think you need
you definitely can
like
because
a metal striking pin for the actual bullet or whatever.
there was also a documentary about people 3D printing guns.
yeah,
I didn't watch it, but I saw it on, I think it was Channel 4.
I wonder if you could 3D print like a sex robot. Do you know like these sex robots that we've talked about before?
Yeah, they're freaky.
I wonder if you could print one of those.
Guess so. I don't know.
I mean,
what...
no, like I just want to add.
Yeah, but
I'm
don't
not wondering
they-
for myself here.
Can you? I don't know anything about 3D printing. Can you use different materials? Is it like one type of plastic, or is it different? Because obviously the
Oh,
sex
that's a
robots
good
they make,
question.
they're like a rubbery kind of soft.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah.
a hard plastic, are they?
Oh, that'd be really awkward.
Because
Wouldn't
that would be.
I'd like a refund, please. I didn't realise this sex doll that I bought is rigid.
Yeah.
I thought it said ribbed.
Yeah, it might not be the best idea.
Anyway, welcome to the
Oh, can
welcome
we
to the
just-
podcast, everyone.
Can we just
go on,
quickly hit on
go
this? Really made me laugh this week. I know this has nothing to do with the movie,
Right.
but as we're talking about robots and stuff, AI. So
Okay.
AI is getting ridiculous, and people are using it
Yes.
for like so much. Did you see the woman who got conned out of £700,000 because she thought that Brad Pitt was? She
Yes.
thought Brad Pitt had contacted her, and he was in his hospital bed and he needed money.
Oh my god.
The videos that people have started doing to take the piss out of it are hilarious. I'll have to send you some if you've not seen any. But people are now obviously ripping the piss because
I bet.
if you look at these AI images that she was sent, it's so obvious. And there's even one where he's got holding up a little note with "I love you, Anne." And then there's like one of him in the hospital bed, and it's so clearly like Brad Pitt's face photoshopped on. It's not even in the right angle or anything. I'll have to show you. But it's like, how why did you think that Brad Pitt was contacting a total stranger, and B, why did you think he needed money? He's like pretty rich.
I mean, he has just gone through a divorce.
And C, look at the pictures.
Yeah.
They're so obviously not real.
I think people just get so caught up in.
I do wonder if people have got mental health issues and then actually they're really vulnerable, and this sort of shit is terrible.
You do tend. I think you do tend to find that like social engineering and all that does really target the most vulnerable of society. Absolutely, it does. But also, it's not.
But I mean, you've
Brad Pitt.
only got to look at these pictures and go, clearly not a real picture.
Maybe you're just blinded by the fact that it's like, oh my god, Brad Pitt, and
just so flattered that she just didn't think straight.
But then also maybe they're just like, well, why wouldn't Brad Pitt message me?
Yeah,
and that's
I'd
another
love
issue.
to have that kind of confidence.
Yeah,
and that sort of level of delusion. Really, you'd float through life if you were just that delusional.
Yeah.
Although she's just lost 700 grand, so she's not really floating through
I mean,
life.
I always had a little daydream, right? Like being someone that's into acting and all that. You always have a little daydream that you're like you're doing a show or whatever, and like a famous actor is in town and is like, what am I going to do tonight? Oh, they're doing this show. Let's go watch some amateur theatre, and they'll be like, he's the guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy in the next film. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like Jason Statham was in Kent filming the beehive, the beekeeper one. Yeah. He was in Kent in Sheppey, literally 10-minute drive from my house.
Yeah, I think you might have told me this.
So there's very much the possibility that Jason Statham could have like seen me in a show, gone, you know what, mate, I really liked your acting. I know that doesn't sound like Jason Statham, but get with me on this. And I'd be like, do you know what, Jason?
What sort of strings do you think
we're thinking about writing Crank 3? Are you in?
When are we going to find
I'm
the
going to
time?
I'm going to put you on my pal Emma.
Although it pretty much writes itself, to be fair.
It does write itself. I think you could literally just turn up with a camera, Jason Statham,
just and
and a baseball bat, and say, "Go! There's a shopping centre, Jason.
Yeah.
Go mad.
Go mad. Yeah.
Crank 3 done.
You've got a problem with your health.
Print it.
Go.
What sort of problem? We'll make it up. We'll do it in post.
In this, David's put a note here. In this movie, you 3D print a sex doll.
And you seriously damaged your penis.
Yes.
Anyway,
should we actually
so let's talk about the movie that we're going to be watching. So obviously this is our ones that got away.
Yes.
And this one is, what's this? What movie is this covering?
Big Stars Terrible Movies.
Is it Big Stars Terrible Movies, this one, or is it Killer Animals?
No, I feel like we've already done that, haven't we?
Oh, it's not Killer Animals. That was Cocaine Bear, wasn't it? So it's got to be Big Stars and Bad Movies, hasn't it?
Did we not do? What was Leprechaun? No, we didn't do Leprechaun this season, did we?
That was Bad Movies in Space. So that was the one that got away. Leprechaun in Space was the bad movie in space that got away.
Right. So we have done Leprechaun in this. I've completely forgotten what we've done. We've done Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, we did Leprechaun 4.
Yeah,
shall I tell us? Shall I
feel like
find out?
This is Big Stars in Bad Movies because of Kevin Bacon.
It must be, mustn't it?
I think so.
It's gotta be.
We really should write these things down.
So we have done in this season 1, 2, 3, 4. Attack of the Killer Donuts, which is killer inanimate objects. Poltergeist, hauntings.
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear, killer animals.
Yeah.
Space Truckers, bad movies in space.
Oh yeah, not Leprechaun at all.
Spawn, superhero movies.
Yeah, so this is big stars in
And this is
bad
big
movies.
stars in bad movies. But Kevin Bacon, he wasn't a massive star at the time, but he's obviously
but that's
a
what
massive star
that's
now.
when we did that season. It was some of their earlier stuff, wasn't it? It was like they've turned out to be a big star, but they've done some shit movies in there.
Because that was when we did the Leprechaun 2 with Jennifer Aniston.
Yes, that's
Aniston,
it. That's why I'm getting confused.
So
we
that
haven't done
makes
Leprechaun.
sense. So yeah, that's what we're doing with this one.
We did Leprechaun.
We did Leprechaun 2 and Leprechaun 4, which is the one in space.
Oh yeah. That's
and
why I'm
we're
getting
not doing
confused
any
with
more.
Leprechaun. Okay, no, we're not.
Unless there's Leprechaun, unless we have some sort of season about gang activity and we could do Leprechaun in the Hood.
No.
That's a serious film, Emma. Somebody was paid money to write down that movie title, Leprechaun in the Hood. Yeah.
Goodness.
Anyway. Right, Emma, do you want to tell our beautiful, wonderful listeners about the movie that we are watching tonight?
Yes. Tonight we are watching Tremors.
Yes.
And if you are a bad movie fan and you haven't seen this, shame on you.
Oh, 100%.
But if you're new to bad movies, then welcome, because this is a good one to start with.
Yeah, it really is. Do you know what really amazed me about this film, right?
Yeah.
There are like 6 sequels.
I know. I didn't realise that until you said to me, but that is crazy.
I watched Tremors 2.
I think I've seen Tremors 2. I don't think I didn't even know the others existed.
Nope, not at all.
Because I haven't watched Tremors for probably 20 years.
It's amazing. There is Tremors 2, Aftershocks, well played.
Yep, I think I've seen that one. Pretty sure I've seen that one.
Tremors 3, Back to Perfection. So they go back to the
because the town's called Perfection, isn't it?
Tremors 4, The Legend Begins, where they go back 100 years to the 1890s or whatever, and the creation of the town of Perfection. And they've got to deal with them. You've got Tremors 5, Bloodlines.
Hold on. So 100 years ago, they had them and they dealt with them.
Yeah.
They didn't come back for 100 years.
Apparently. And everyone in Perfection must have forgot about them. I'm assuming.
That would be something that was quite well known in history, though, if they were there 100 years ago. Surely that would be like, legend has it, these creatures live under the ground.
They didn't have TikTok 100 years ago in America, did they?
But
they don't have TikTok now either. Sorry, Americans.
I'm so gutted about that. Yeah, but you would think that would be a story passed down through the generations.
You would,
like,
you?
when my granddad was young, there was these creatures under the ground that,
Yeah, I know. I know. You like some sort of story that kids were told round the campfires at night or whatever. I just don't know
how you can get that many movies out of this concept.
Yeah, but also one thing I'd want to say is, I know a little bit. I've seen this film a lot, right?
Yeah.
I know the town is tiny in this film.
Yeah.
You're not getting a lot of new blood coming in that town.
No.
I think there'd be only slightly more inbred in the British royal family.
There must be like that family. Is it the Whitakers?
they've all got King Charles sausage fingers.
Oh God, he sounds awful.
The actual monsters in it are just actually their descendants.
The children, yeah.
They're just So you've also got Tremors 5 Bloodlines, Tremors A Cold Day in Hell, and Tremors Shrieker Island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sequels.
Obviously, all of those sequels are going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I will just say that for anyone who's thinking, Tremors, that's not a bad movie, because it is a great movie.
Yep.
It's the same thing. We've done some before where we felt a bit like we're cheating, like Snakes on a Plane. The movies are great. It's the concept that's terrible.
Yes.
So I think we get away with it because if you describe this concept to anybody that hadn't seen it,
100%,
you'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? So it's the concept. It's not the execution, because actually it's executed beautifully.
Yeah.
And it is a real classic, but
it is.
The concept is terrible.
So just in case you don't know the concept, here's the synopsis of Tremors, okay? So it was released in 1990. So you got a small town gradually becomes aware of a strange creature which picks off people one by one. But what is this creature and where is it? At the same time, a seismologist is working in the area. She detects tremors. The creature lives underground and can pop up without warning. Trapped in their town, the townfolk have no escape.
What was she there for originally? Because it's very convenient that she's there when this all happens.
She's a seismologist student from the local college or whatever, and I think she's just doing a survey of the land.
Oh, okay. So she's not there because there's suspicions of anything. It's just research
Yeah, it's purely coincidence that there is a seismologist there, which ultimately helps them deal and understand what's going on with the monsters.
Very convenient,
Yeah. So convenient. But, I mean, without her, everyone in the town would have been dead.
Yeah.
And not because she does, like, loads of heroic stuff, but it's because actually she's got the application of science.
Yeah.
Right. So, shall we toss our coin and figure out if we are doing the good or the bad this episode? Okay, let's... I'd never know if it picks up the coin toss anymore because the mics are different.
Oh, I don't know.
But we'll see. Oh, I've really fumbled that. Right, what do you think it is?
Good.
No, it's bad.
There isn't anything bad. I know, I've seen this movie before.
No, that's going to be really difficult to talk about. My God, we're going to have to find bad stuff to talk about Tremors.
Impossible.
Sacrilege. Oh.
But that should mean that the flip side is jam-packed.
Yeah, I know. I imagine it will be. Emma, are we going to tell our listeners about our plan?
Yes, I think we should.
Yeah. So
we're not gonna trick them. We're gonna fess up.
We are. We've never done this before.
Yeah.
But what we've decided to do is we're just going to watch the film and make notes, and while we're making those notes, think about all our different categories, aren't we?
Yes, rather than pre-pick categories.
Yeah.
Because what we found we're doing is quite often we're picking wild cards anyway.
Yeah.
So we might as well just pick categories that fit that movie. And then we've got more to talk about rather than trying to... Sometimes I feel like we're clutching at straws trying to get something to fit a category.
Yeah.
When actually just talk about the bits that there are to talk about.
I do find myself going... Well, I suppose this was okay, but that's it was just okay, but at least it fits in with hair and makeup.
Yeah, and there's some movies that some of the categories are so perfect for, and obviously if we don't pick them, I mean we've been throwing in wild cards anyway, so we might as well just pick the ones that fit. Yeah. So that's the new plan. So we'll still do good or bad. Mm-hmm. And the coin costs. That's not what I wanted to say, is it?
No, it's not. No.
The coin toss.
Oh, the perfect Emma. Suddenly. No. What? The perfect Emma? No. Yeah. But obviously, give us some feedback. If you prefer us doing that, great. We'll carry on doing it. But if you're like, no, I love it when you are restricted and you've got to find something to say. Yeah. Then, yeah.
Then I feel like we haven't really been doing that anyway because we've been finding the wild cards. So
yeah, we end up doing
what fits the movie anyway. So we might as well just do that.
Absolutely, I agree.
So that's
Emma,
what we're doing.
This has been the single longest intro of any movie we've ever done before.
That's because we were talking about Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and 3D printing, and he is a movie star. It does fit in with the theme of movies.
There's a link there.
Are you ready to have your world rocked?
I'm always ready to watch Tremors.
Let's go. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome back, Emma. Yay!
Yay!
We have just watched Tremors. Well, I say we just watched. We watched it last night. We've come back tonight to record about it, etc. But I kind of destroyed the illusion there. Everybody look behind the curtain. That was like Wizard of Oz. Do not look behind the curtain. Do not pay attention to that man.
I feel like, well, the listeners know that we watched one night, record another. I feel like this could just be watch Tremors. It's great. Bye. Yes. And this episode is bad, so like the bad bits, not the episode's bad. So we are going to struggle a bit because there wasn't. No, there wasn't a lot of bad in there.
I've got a couple of little notes about it.
Yeah,
about
I have,
bad,
but not a lot.
No, not much. Is this the perfect movie?
Well, so you know how much I love Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
But also Poltergeist was really good
Top
because it
notch.
was funny.
Top notch. Yeah,
Poltergeist was so funny.
It was funny, but it also had
And the
like
whole
really
just the
sweet,
whole
lovely
idea of
moments
it.
and
Yes, it did. Had a bit of everything
sub
in there.
moments. Yeah,
But it was just like the whole concept of that is just brilliant.
yeah.
I mean, what a
Yeah.
funny idea for a movie.
I know. It
A
really
haunted
was.
gay nightclub. Like it's just.
I know. I haven't rewatched it yet, but I am going to rewatch it just myself, just
But that's the sort of movie that. So with most of these movies, maybe I've watched them years ago, and then we've watched them again for the podcast. But with most of them, I'm like, yeah, great, I've enjoyed it, but I'm not necessarily going to watch it again.
Yeah.
But if anyone said to me in the future, oh, should we watch Poltergeist? I'd be like, yep.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
Watch it 'cause it's really
Yeah.
funny.
I absolutely. I'm already thinking. Kids, shall we? Here's a movie. Let's watch this. Yeah, I know.
By the way, David's kids are like grown up.
Yeah. They're,
He's not talking about little kids.
Yeah,
he's
like,
going to show Poltergeist too.
I got.
I mean, is it a 15? Is it 15?
I think it's a 15. Yeah,
so
there's nothing.
It's not terrible, is
Yeah,
it?
no, there's nothing in there.
graphic in there.
There's nothing graphic. I mean, God forbid there was some graphic gay sex. Oh my God. Oh.
No, but I mean,
No,
if
no,
you were going to
but-
show young children, then
Yeah,
you wouldn't
yeah,
want them to see
you're
any,
not gonna do
any
that.
sex scene, would you?
Oh God, no! And no, and not
No.
just because it's like it's not suitable for kids, but you don't want to be sitting there with your kids and
No,
like
no.
even with like even me, if I sat down and watch a film with my mum and dad and they're like
Yeah,
in
you
their
don't.
60s and I'm like,
I mean, I went to see
Oh,
Saltburn
God.
with my mum at the cinema. And have you seen that yet?
I've not seen it.
But you've heard
I
about
don't
some
need
of the
to
scenes.
see it because I've seen enough TikToks to
Yeah.
just tell you everything
So,
about it anyway.
I mean, luckily my mum's just, totally cool like that. We don't.
Yeah.
It's not awkward. Like we we kind of looked at each other a couple of times and were like, what are we watching here?
This is
Because we had no idea what it was really.
That's
We
grim.
just was like, oh, do you fancy going to the cinema? And
Okay.
then just watched that and didn't realise what we were letting ourselves in for at all. But having said that, it is a good movie. It's just there's
Mhm.
a couple of scenes in there where you're like, oh, that is gross.
Oh,
But
yeah,
the
yeah.
idea of the concept behind that's really good.
Yeah,
The storyline's good. It's just
it's like a
there's
cuckoo, isn't it? Going in and just
it's just a couple of scenes where you're like, oh, did you really need to show that?
no. But then if they don't do that sort of thing, no one talks about it. It's just
Yeah.
another little ensemble cast movie, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, okay, I'm stopping that now. Let's not do that voice again. I think I started doing that in Spawn, doing a little voice.
Did you?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, don't do
Hey,
the little voice.
stopping
It's
it.
weird.
Just stop it. Don't do it, Dave.
It's weird, David. Stop.
It's very strange. Just don't do that. Right. Let's talk a little bit about Tremors, shall we?
Shall we?
And try and stay on focus.
Yes,
all
we
right.
will. Right. I'll try not to go off on too many tangents.
And I'll try not to indulge tangents.
Yeah, to be fair,
No.
I know we're
We're
going to
nipping that in the bud now. Stop it. There's no to be
To
fair.
be fair,
No.
I do go off on a lot of tangents. I know that.
You just
I'm not denying
overrode
it.
me. I'm trying to nip
I'm
tangents in
not
the bud.
denying it, but
Go on.
you encourage them.
I do. I'm a tangent feeder.
You are.
I really am.
You're a tangent encourager.
Yeah, I am a tangent judger. I'll cut that.
You won't.
Oh, it's too much work. I'm too busy.
True.
Right. So we open up. We've got Val McKee and Elle Bassett. That's our titular heroes. Well, not titular heroes because they're not Tremors, are they? You got Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward playing these parts, right? They're two, kind of repairmen.
Yeah, kind of
Handymen.
maintenance. Yeah. I
They're
guess
out in the
so.
desert putting together
Just doing odd jobs, really, aren't they?
They're putting a fence up pretty poorly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. This fence looks as rickety as hell.
Oh, but they're putting barbed wire over the top of a fence post, but the
Yeah.
fence post is wobbling all over the place. It's like that fence post needs to be solidly in the ground.
Yeah,
Otherwise, that's just coming out.
yeah.
It's just going over.
It's gone. I mean, I think it'd fallen over by the time
Yeah.
they got to it. And
It comes. I think they showed that because it comes into play later on, doesn't it? The
Oh, it
barbed
does
wire
actually,
fence.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
the
that's why
barbed
they
wire
showed
fence
them
does.
doing it.
So it does. I forgot about that.
Maybe that's why they showed it so wobbly as well, just to show that it wasn't very
yeah.
solid in the ground.
Oh. That's-
Yeah.
Also, maybe it also shows that the ground is quite soft,
Yeah. True.
so that the
They're setting it all up.
graboids
They
can
know what they're
get through.
doing, don't they?
This is the perfect movie. Oh my god!
They've actually thought it through.
Like no plot holes now, none.
It's even more perfect than you ever imagined.
Perfect. Right. Anyway, so yeah, they are just like your odd job men, mending fences, railings. They also help farmers in this little sleepy town called Perfection. Look after cows, like ranch hands.
When you
sort
say
of thing.
sleepy town, it's
Oh,
population 14.
It
It
is.
is. I mean, the tiniest town you can imagine in the middle of nowhere.
And
There's
I
nothing
wonder,
for
right,
miles, is there?
Is that just 14 people in the actual little town, but there's more kind of like in little houses around and about the area? Or does that include the farmers out and around about the area?
I don't know, because it looked like we saw it from quite a few different angles, didn't we? This town, and it looked like there was nothing for miles.
Yeah,
miles
it was pretty,
and miles.
pretty sparse.
Why anybody would live that remotely, I'm not entirely sure.
The nearest town is a little town called Bixby, which is like they say 38 miles away.
That's quite a drive, isn't it?
It is. I mean, to us in the UK,
to us,
but like America is like, oh, I'm just going to nip and get some milk. Well, the shop 38 miles away.
Yeah,
I'll be back in 2 hours. Yeah, no worries.
To us in the UK, because we're so small in comparison, if someone said to me, "I'm going 38 miles away," I'd be like, "Oh, that's a long way.
Hardly worth it.
That's a bit of a drive."
Yeah, that's like London from here.
Yeah,
ugh.
I mean, yeah, it's too far.
Yeah, far too far. I mean, like if I wanted to go 38 miles anywhere from here, I'd be like, oh, it's probably have to go by the M25.
I've seen this online a lot where Americans don't understand the concept of like a local shop, like you just walk to the local shop. So because we are, our housing estates are, a lot of places they're like terraced houses, aren't they? You're literally joined.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you've got like a little community where you've got parks and schools and shops all on the same little development. Whereas in America, it's all so spread out. Their houses are huge. They're all detached. They're miles off from any shops or garages or anything.
Yeah.
So like to go and get fuel, for example, they'd probably drive miles to go and get fuel, where we might just pop 5 minutes down the road to get some fuel or whatever.
That's a good point.
Everything's just so much closer together in the UK, isn't it? That
it is, yeah.
Like I mean, I've got 2 shops that I could. No, I've got more than that actually. I've got about 4 shops that I can walk to from my house. Yeah. Within like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You don't get that in America, do you?
Yeah, I have 3 supermarkets within walking distance of me in my hometown. Yeah.
So just on my little estate where I am, I've got this local school at the end of my road. I've got a Waitrose, and I've got a. I don't want to brag, but
Waitrose.
It's upper class over here.
Jesus Christ.
I've got a co-op down the road. I've got 2 other little independent stores. There's like a hairdresser's. There's loads. There's like a chicken shop. Do you know? There's like loads of stuff. Shop. There is. Yeah. There's like loads of stuff just on this little estate. So they don't have that in America, do they? It's all very like you drive everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they have that, but that's because that's what I see in movies and TV shows.
I've seen like videos on TikTok and stuff where they're like, "What do you mean you walked to a local shop and it takes you 5 minutes?" Like we do have shops on housing estates. Yeah, we do have like businesses and stuff. Like here where I live, there's a row of businesses, so you'll get like I say, hairdressers and stuff. So
there's always a takeaway place. There's always hairdressers,
and we've got like a little pub around the corner, and it's all walking distance. I can walk to the shop. I can walk to the pub. Like it's all. I can walk to the school. It's all like here. I don't have to get in the car.
Yeah.
To do most things, if I haven't got my car at the moment actually, and I can just go right. I'm just going to pop to the shops, and I'm just going to take the kids to school.
And if we do a massive segue here, if we compare that to the small town of Perfection, okay, they've literally got a general store. Yeah. Which also they all sit down. There's a table and chairs there, and they're all sitting down at one point, all drinking beers in that general store as well. Yeah. So that's like that one place is their hub. Yeah. But I suppose if you ever see like suburban homes or whatever in the States, it's always just rows and rows and rows and rows of houses. Yeah, there's nothing else. It's not like then there's like a little commercial hub area
because they're all like detached.
Yeah.
I know that's not the same everywhere. I know like somewhere like New York, it would obviously be terraced and it would be like apartments and stuff.
But then you've got little bodegas and all that in places like that.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose we're comparing it to if you're in a city like New York, there will be restaurants and bars and local shops and stuff, and then like terraced houses.
You go out the suburbs.
But if you go out, then it's
you're in a town.
This is a small town, quite a
big commuter town.
Yeah,
but like you're kind of suburbs of that town as well, aren't you? So it's on a micro scale to like a city, proper big city or whatever, isn't it? So Yeah. That's very odd, isn't it?
But it is, I mean, you know, even compared to what we see in the movies of, you know, American streets and stuff, this is like, you're absolutely in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And there's 14 people that live there. I mean, there's 2 kids that live in this place, and I was just like, there's no prospects for them.
No, there's nothing
There's
to
no
do.
friends. There's no, doesn't look like they go to school. There's
Nope.
no, like, what sort of childhood is that for kids? Like, there's nobody around.
And there was one point as well, there was a couple building, looks like they're building a new house or something like that.
And I was like, where'd they get the building supplies
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like,
There's
building
literally
supplies are
nothing.
going to be delivered in 3 weeks because that's the first
Yeah.
time they can spare a truck
And there's
to come out
also,
this
like,
far.
nothing to do.
Yeah.
And if you're that many miles away from anywhere, I would just think, if you break down halfway to somewhere, you'd be there for hours,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
You'd be stuck in the desert.
Because someone's got to drive out to you.
Yep.
They'll be hours away, surely.
Hence a lot of reliance in this film on CB radio.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, CB radio is a very niche thing in the UK.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of people on CB radio or whatever, but, like, anytime I ever see CB radio in use, it's in the US.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's that common now because, you know, cell phone coverage
Yeah.
and all that sort of thing. But back 80s, 90s, CB radios, you know, breaker, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's even like CB radios in use in this film as well because there's no phone coverage. You're not going to have a phone line going from Perfection to
that's
Butts
true, isn't it?
house, you know,
Yeah,
half
because
a mile up the road.
if this was 1990, I know mobile phones existed then, the really big,
the big
original
car
ones.
phones, yeah.
But so I didn't get a mobile until 97, 98, something like that.
Yeah.
And they were the little tiny Nokia ones, and they were literally just you could call people on it and text people on it.
Play
Had a
Snake.
screen that was about. Mine didn't even have Snake.
Did it not?
My friend had one that had Snake, a later model, and we all thought, "Wow, we've got games on his phone." Whoa, man!
We once, when I was at college, right, we were going round to my friend Georgie's house, and on the way there, like, we found a phone on the road.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like, banana-shaped ones.
Yeah.
That, like, if you press the side, the little front slid down.
Oh, okay.
And we found it, and, like, back then, there was no, like, fingerprint locking or anything like that, so we just kind of, like, called the last
Most
number
of it was pay
on
as
it.
you go as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, we called the last number on it, and we were like, hello, we found the phone, you're the last person they called, so can you think of who the last person to call you was, and maybe they've lost their phone, you know. It's like,
do you recognise this number? Has it come up as someone?
Yeah, and they came and picked it up a couple of days later, but yeah, it's like, it was, they were mad phones, weren't they?
Yeah.
And now you think what we've got now.
You could literally read about 2 lines of a text message on it.
Yeah.
Well, not even that, probably, because the screens were so small.
They
So it
were.
took you ages. It would just scroll up, wouldn't it? If you were reading a long message. But it used to also, this is how ancient I am. So you used to send messages in, it would go in as more than one message. So you'd get like
one of
3,
yeah,
one of
3,
yeah. Because it wouldn't send all in the
God.
same message.
And it
And
would
picture
eat
messages were non-existent.
But it would
that
eat
wasn't a
into your
thing.
messages as well because you only had a set
so
number of
you had-
messages.
So most phones were pay as you go, which most people won't know what that is now because it's all contract. But pay as you
They
go.
still do pay as you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So pay as you go was literally you top your phone up with credit, and then a message might be 10p, 12p. I think it was 10p for a text message. Then when picture messages came in, it was 12p a picture message.
Yes.
So if you had like £10 credit on your phone, that would, if you made a phone call, that would eat it, wouldn't it? It would take the money down. But if you sent messages, it was like 10p a text message. And I remember that because I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent now, but
I know. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm just waiting for some sort of segue to get into Tremors.
let me just tell you this because it is funny.
Okay.
So when I was
This
in
is
my
the last one.
early 20s, I broke up with somebody,
Right.
and he would not stop texting me. He wouldn't leave me alone. He was just being an arse, and he just kept texting me. And I wasn't texting him back, but he just was pestering me. And this one night, he just kept texting me, and he was like, "I'm not going to text you again. That's 10p wasted." And then it was another message come through, another 10p wasted. I was just like, "Stop texting me then." I wasn't even replying.
I'm doing little tappy toes with my
Do you
feet.
know
That's
how
insane.
many times? And this is so common with women. Women all know this.
Aye.
How many times you break up with a guy, and then because you don't pine after him and you're not like missing him, messaging him, because you're just like, yeah, done.
Oh yeah.
Their egos can't take it, so they will just pester you afterwards. I've had it even as I've been older, and I went on one date with a guy.
Right.
And then it turned out, I was trying to arrange a second date, and it turned out that he was actually still talking to his ex, and it was all very complicated. And I was like, look, and he said to me, oh, I've got a decision to make. I was like, no, you haven't got a decision to make. I'm out.
Is this still the same one tangent, or have we moved on to the second tangent? Okay. And then
I told him in very clear terms, nope, I'm out, done, good luck with your ex, whatever.
Sure.
Done.
Yeah.
Then he kept messaging me, and I was not replying. But I didn't block him or anything, because it was quite amusing. Me and my friends were laughing at these paragraphs I was getting. I was just like, what is this guy's problem? I went on one date with him.
Like, he's wasting 10 pence a time.
Well, this is more recently, so it's like contract, right. So it wasn't a 10p issue. But
so he's got 5,000 texts a month.
He was saying things to me like he's had lucky escape. And I was like, I'm not the one texting you. I've told you I don't want to date you anymore. And then he blocked me.
What a topsy-turvy world for these
He blocked me, and I was like, you don't need to block me. I'm not replying to your messages. You keep texting me. I should be blocking you.
In no way am I surprised. I'm not surprised, right? I will just say, like, I've never done any of this behaviour.
No.
Right? Never done any of this behaviour. But I understand.
You can understand
men,
there's people out there like it.
I understand it.
There's probably women like it too. Don't get me wrong. There's probably women that get.
But I feel like it might be like slightly more men than women that do that.
I think it's an ego thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why aren't you pining after me and asking me back? And why have you just not even messaged me? You've just.
Yeah. They can't take it, can they? Can't take it.
I need you to care that we're not together anymore. And then they'll just pester and pester.
Oh, my dude, please.
I dread to think how many 10p's that guy wasted on texting me when I wasn't texting back.
Just think how many 10p's he's wasted on other women as well. It's like,
I know.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he's probably in debt now.
He's probably dead from the weight of all those 10p messages gone. Oh, honestly. Oh, you just want this ground to open under you and swallow you up, don't you?
Wasn't it?
He was one of the tangents. You see what I did there? You want the ground to open up? Oh, right. Anyway, so we're still at the very beginning of the film.
Okay, I'll shut up
now. We are 20 minutes into the discussion of the movie. Right. Anyway. Val, Kevin Bacon, Earl, Fred Ward. Okay. They've got They don't have much of the names. Their life is not going well. They've made the decision that they're going to leave perfection and they're going to go and find work and a new life in the town of Bixby, close by. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, perfection is literally just a small, dried out part of Perfection Valley, in Nevada. It's surrounded by mountains on 3 sides and a cliff on the other side, which is all going to be very important later. They meet Rhonda, who's a university student, who is doing a sort of survey on the area into earthquakes. She does tell them at the time that she's getting weird signals from the seismographs, but there are no actual earthquakes around her. We get an impression that Kevin Bacon really kind of likes Rhonda. Val likes Rhonda, but he doesn't seem too like confident in saying anything. He's like, why? You get the feeling like he's very much like, oh, I'm just a little country yokel, and she's a learned lady. She's a lady of letters. Why would she have any interest in me at all, kind of thing. But you can see that Elle kind of wants her to be like, hey, get yourself onto her. And when we were watching it as well, she's got like loads of sunblock all over her nose.
Yes.
And we were like, why would you? Is that a thing?
Well, I said to you, didn't I? Do you normally rub that in, or do you normally keep it quite thick? Is that deliberate? Yeah. Because
and like I said, like when I watched, I mean, I don't watch cricket a lot, but when like you watch cricket and you see like cricketers out in the sun or whatever, you see like sunblock in thick, blocks on their face.
Yeah.
And as soon as we said that, she's like, she realises after they've driven away, she kind of goes,
She touches her
touches
nose,
her nose with a sunblock on, and she realizes and she's like, "Oh God, I must look like a fucking idiot." And it's like, "Oh well, maybe she wasn't supposed to have like that great big."
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. But so Val and Elle find one of the town drunks up. What's it called?
It's
I made
like
a note of it.
electric.
Yeah, it's like an electric
pylon.
tower. Yeah, it's an electric pylon. That's the one, right? So they find, they see him sitting up on this pylon and like, oh Christ, like they do something they do to make decisions a lot in the film. They do rock paper scissors.
That's how they make every decision.
Every single decision. Yeah. And also, it seems that Kevin Bacon always loses.
Oh yeah.
He seems to always lose. So
yeah, because he doesn't always do everything. But is that because he's the younger of the two? They make him do it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And Elle is wise enough to know his tricks he knows his pattern for going rock, paper, scissors.
Well, it's just pure luck,
like,
isn't it?
let's do rock, paper, scissors real quick. We both went scissors. We both went scissors. All right. So, yeah, we were on the wavelength.
That's great content for audio.
That was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We just literally
we didn't even say
shake.
We didn't even say anything.
Go 1, 2, 3.
We didn't even know we were doing it because we just silently did it.
We could have done anything.
You have to take our word for it that we did it.
Let's do rock, paper, scissors. Oh my God, you won!
I don't think you left it long enough then.
I don't think I did I?
Also, if you use that editing software, it's probably going to
cut that
take
all
that gap out. And it'll be even more instant.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, it'll take the gaps out, won't it?
Although, actually, we're a lot better now at not leaving spaces and gaps and all that sort of thing.
It's so professional.
Our conversation is better.
What you want to do is find a piece of software that cuts out all my tangents, and then we'll have 2 minutes of content. ChatGPT
is not that powerful. So anyway, like Val and Elle find the town drunk, Edgar his name is, on top of an electricity tower. Now, Val climbs up to help carry him down, but they realise, actually, oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's got a rifle on him, and he's stuck up this tower, and he's clearly dead. Now, they get him down, and they take him to the doctor, who confirms that Edgar died of dehydration, and which means he must have been up there for some time.
Yeah.
So dies of dehydration, stuck up there. What is it that would have kept a man with a rifle up a electricity tower long enough to dehydrate?
Right. Also, I've just thought of something. So, how long does it take you to dehydrate? Because you can go without water for 3 days.
4 days. 3 days.
So why has nobody noticed him up there for 3 or 4 days?
Well, it's so remote, isn't it?
So is he quite far away from the rest of the town?
But I also wonder if, as well, maybe you would maybe dehydrate a little bit faster in the desert. Oh, because
it is really hot. Yeah, true.
I mean, it's Nevada. It's going to be stupidly hot.
That's true.
So maybe, I imagine maybe you dehydrate a little bit faster in those climates.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. Maybe.
I guess so, yeah. The hotter it is, the quicker, I'm sure, because the more water you'd need, wouldn't you? And then if you're not drinking anything...
Yeah.
You'd surely dehydrate quicker.
Yeah, I'm sure
you'd lose a lot in sweat as well, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would. Yeah.
So, yeah, I imagine that you need to drink...
You'd
need to take up your water intake a lot in the desert, wouldn't you?
You can go without food for a lot longer than you can water.
But water is...
And I know that because I didn't eat for 5 days once with food poisoning.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I just really... I'm just touching wood here. I've never had food poisoning. But everyone I know that's had it is like, you actually feel like you're going to die.
Yeah,
and
it's horrible.
I never want to get it.
It is horrible.
I know people that got it on a plane coming back from China.
Oh.
A flight from China. And I was just like...
a short flight.
Exactly.
That's 9 hours, 8 hours.
And they were just like, you've never... Like, so it was a couple and the guy was like, I've never clenched so hard in my life, because he said if I went to the toilet, I knew it wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
And I couldn't just be like that on the plane, like, for that many hours. But how, if you've got food poisoning, I don't know how you clench and keep that in.
No.
But also you're in a situation where you're like, I just want to get home.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you want to delay going home and stay in a different country. You want to just get home. But yeah, it's just the worst, isn't it? It's just...
I think I'd be thinking...
It's just awful.
Like, I know there are a lot of people on this plane, but I wouldn't mind if it went down. Yeah. I wouldn't mind. Just end it. I know the feeling.
Can't imagine feeling that rough and being on a plane.
It was a sausage roll that did it to me.
Was it?
Sausage roll, yeah. Pork.
Yeah.
Not cooked properly, whatever. Yep. didn't eat sausage rolls for a long time after that.
Yeah, I imagine that would be
very long
traumatising.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good. It's horrible. And I felt like I probably could have started eating sooner, but
you don't want to take the risk.
I was so kind of like
when you've been that rough,
revolted
you've got to
by
be,
food.
Yeah.
You've
got to
honestly,
take, and also after something like that, you've got to take it so gently with your stomach.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, nothing.
It's like
nothing
rice
complex.
and bananas and like
simple
really,
foods.
yeah.
Yeah. I had blended vegetables. I literally just blended vegetables down and just helped to do as much
Apparently,
as
if you've got a stomach bug, Coke is good for your stomach.
Heard that. Oh my god!
And I did look this up before because I was like, why is it good for your stomach? Why?
So my father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god! So he's full of shit.
You're not going to do your impression, are you?
But yeah, I'm going to do my impersonation of my father-in-law. Here, David, right? If you've ever dicky tummy, do you know what you want to do? Drink some Coke. And his reasoning for drinking some Coke when you're feeling unwell. Have you seen what happens to a penny when you put Coke, put it in Coke? Just imagine that cleaning your stomach out. There you go. That's his reason. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Just imagine. It's probably the massive hit of sugar your stomach's getting or whatever.
Someone should tell Trump that. It's something to do because he likes.
Don't disaffect your blood.
Just drink Coke.
Here, Trump. Have you ever considered, injecting Coca-Cola into your veins? Have you ever seen what it can do to a penny?
It's something to do with the bubbles, I think, rather than the sugar.
Oh, okay.
I did look it up before when one of the kids had a stomach bug because it was actually my ex-mother-in-law that told me the same thing, that Coke is good for an upset stomach.
Yeah. What is it with what is it with in-laws and Coke?
I
know. they drive you to it. White lines. Yeah. Speaking of white lines, the road to perfection is paved with white lines down the centre of the road. It segues to get us back to it. Now, so yeah, obviously.
This is to the contrary of everything I've just said. If you look it up on Google, actually.
Oh, is it?
Carbonated drinks can make it worse.
Oh,
caffeine
shit.
can make it worse.
Oh no! Don't do that then. Maybe this is just a rumour from Coke. Or like back in the old days, Coke was a tonic, wasn't it? Coca-Cola was a tonic. Like to pep you up because it had actual Coke in it for a period of time.
Oh, hold on. This says that cola has the same ingredient, phosphoric acid, found in an effective over-the-counter anti-nausea drug.
Oh, okay. So it's phosphoric acid.
It's said to help settle the stomach with its slight fizz and replenish fluids and glucose lost by vomiting. Don't know. So I don't know now because that's given me two different.
Is that why
answers.
Is that why Coca-Cola fizzes up much more than any other drink? Is because of the phosphoric acid?
Don't know.
Oh, who knows? Who knows? Bloody Coca-Cola.
We certainly don't.
No, I definitely don't. Doesn't look like Google knows either. Surprise, surprise. Oh, I'm bitching on Google now. What's going on?
What's Google ever done?
Anyway, right. So we like Miguel, a local cattle rancher, it also tells Val and Elle about how he's had a good number of his herd just disappear without a trace. Yep. We do also see an old sheep farmer get sucked up by the ground as well at some point. Now, that evening, we've got the doctor at their trailer, and him and his wife live there while they're building their house.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor hears a strange noise, and he sees, like, all of a sudden the lights go out.
Yeah.
And they realise that the generator isn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they go over to where the generator is, and there's just, like, a kind of, like, divot in the ground.
Yeah.
And the wire going down. So they pull the wire out, and,
nothing
no
on the end of it.
generator on the end. And then the generator gets like spat out of the ground and it goes like fire out like a geyser. Geyser?
Geyser? I don't know.
Geyser Soze.
I don't know.
Geyser Soze. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm getting so distracted talking about this film because I know we don't have a lot to talk about with bad stuff. Anyway,
it's just pad.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these movies do, it's just fill time.
So obviously, like the doctor's investigating this, all right, but then the ground collapses under him, and he's getting pulled down to the hole, screaming away in pain. His wife tries to pull him out, but to no avail. He gets sucked down. She goes and runs, gets in the car,
Why does she get in the car and not the trailer thing they live in?
Well, she gets in the car and she goes to turn the engine, and then she realises
she goes to drive off, doesn't she? But there's no keys in there.
Yes.
Which in every other American movie, they always leave their keys in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Every other movie I've watched.
Do you know what she didn't do though? She didn't pull down the sun visor because that's where the keys always are.
Yeah.
Always.
Why? If we've got any American listeners, can you please tell us, is that an actual thing? Do you leave your keys in the vehicle? Because that's madness to me.
Yeah, to me it is.
So anyone can steal your car.
Yeah. Yeah.
We always lock our cars and take our keys with us.
Yep.
You never get into a car over here and there's just keys in it. Because little scumbags would nick it.
Yeah. It'd be gone before you even blinked. It'd be gone in 60 seconds, in fact.
It would be, wouldn't it?
There's another terrible movie.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But do you know who else was gone in 60 seconds? the doctor's wife's car. That was gone in 60 seconds because she goes into the car, and she thinks she's safe, and then like these little snaky things hit the window and all that, but then the car gets
slowly sucked down. The creatures are called graboids, are they?
Yeah. They ultimately call them graboids,
which is a crazy name, but yeah, they will take a whole car down. They will just they won't worry about getting the woman out of it. They'll just be like, we'll take the whole car, thanks. And they eat things, and whatever they don't like, they just spit back out. So the generator comes back out of the ground, doesn't it? Does that get spat back out?
Yeah, the generator gets spat out
before he gets taken.
Yeah, it's like a shark. Shark will take a bite of a human, realise it doesn't like the taste, and then
just let it go.
Yeah.
So they literally, things just come flying back out of the ground if they don't like it, and it's not human basically.
Yeah,
and they can't eat it.
So while all this is happening, right, this happens. It's the next day. Val and Elle are actually sticking all the stuff together in the van, and they're getting out of perfection. And then they said out of Dodge, but that wouldn't make sense because they're getting out of perfection. And they also turned down a lucrative job from a local woman, Megan, who wants them to build her a new ceramic oven. She's clearly into pottery, I imagine then. But they're like, nah, not really. But she then offers them like free beer as well. It's like, I'll make you lunch and free beer. But sure enough, they get away. They're on the way out of town. But what they do is they stop by old Fred's farm, the old sheep farmer that we saw get sucked down in the ground, and find his decapitated head lying half buried under his fedora hat. Mm-hmm. Now, they're thinking there might be a murderer on the loose. They also head to the docks.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they look like they've upped sticks and gone. None of this, like, the stuff's here, but it's all like all over the place.
Yeah.
And then they hear music playing, and they go over to where the music is playing, and they find the car stuck down with the headlights on vertically in the ground, with the headlights just covered by the dust on the earth.
Yeah.
So so they discover that. Now, what we also have missed is that there are some road workers who were working on the road.
Oh, yes.
And they get attacked by the graboids, and ultimately that also causes a landslide and blocks off the road.
Yes.
So Val and Elle are trying to get out of town, and they find this, and they see this small landslide. Now, they assume it was caused by the two road workers, and they get out the car to yell at them, but they find the men's helmets lying in the road full of blood, slime, etc. And Val and Elle are like, we are getting out of here. So Kevin Bacon reverses the truck, and hits like the cliff side, the mountain side next to the road. And as he's trying to drive away, he can't quite get away. Anyway, he guns it and rips away. But what they don't realise when they get back into town is that one of the graboids, one of the snake mouths on the graboid that came out the mouth, or snake tongue, grabbed the axle of the car, and this snake's kind of head is wrapped around the axle. When they drove away, they ripped it off. So the shopkeeper Walter offers them $15 to pay for it, but they're talking about how are they going to get any help, because they've got lots of dead people. They've got this crazy monster like snake thing. They don't know the real size of the thing at the moment in time.
I mean, when your population is 14, people start dying. It's pretty worrying. Isn't it?
Because
and the doctor's dead. So
it's like instantly one person dies, it's 8% of the population gone.
Yeah. And
now,
it was pretty handy, I imagine, to have a doctor somewhere
Yeah.
like that when you're living so remote.
and currently 4 people are dead. We're down
Yeah.
to 10 residents
Yeah.
of the town. That's a not insignificant number.
For the 2 of those, no, yeah, the road workers are dead as well. They're not part of the
that's
population,
6
though, are
people,
they? So
but
6
they're
people,
not part of the population. Yeah, but yeah, almost half the population of the town are. Well, yeah, you're right. The road workers aren't part of the population, but the body count is near half of what the population of the town would be, which is a not insignificant number. So yeah, they're kind of talking about what they're going to do and how they're going to get help, and they realise that Walter Chang, the shopkeeper, the store owner, has got a couple of horses, so they're going to go and tell the county police because again, all the phone lines are cut.
Yeah.
Clearly, something's caused them to be damaged with the graboids. Perhaps the graboids are smart, but they're not. I don't think at this stage they're smart enough to think let's isolate these people by cutting down the phone line. I think it is just literally the phone line is damaged in one of the accidents or one of the attacks or something like that. But yeah, a lot of the people, they're not really worried at all in spite of everything that's going on. We are introduced to a lot of the townsfolk. We've got Melvin, who's a young teenager who is a little bit of a pain in the ass. We've got Bert and Heather, who are doomsday preppers. They've got their own nuclear bunker, armed to the teeth.
Oh, they've just got a wall of guns, haven't they?
And they've got supplies that could last them years, apparently, as well. Okay.
They knew this was coming, I think.
Yeah. And they're not worried about anything because, well, they're like, what have we got to fear? We are well stocked.
Yeah.
Okay. But Val and Elle ride as fast as they can, but the horses are spooked by some of the sort of snake things that come out the ground, but which we find out are the tongues of the graboids. But they run away on foot, but they are being chased down by this graboid. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they're running and running. They're just about to get caught, but they jump across this. What would you call it?
What is it? Yeah,
it's like a viaduct, isn't it? But
so it's a like concrete wall and like a gap between the.
I'd say it's probably a concrete viaduct, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like in Terminator 2 when they've got that great big. That's a great film.
I've watched it, but I can't remember.
So
I haven't watched it for years.
The big truck is chasing John Connor and that down and Arnold Schwarzenegger on a motorbike down the big viaduct in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
It's like a mini version of that.
Yeah.
Right. So, they see this and they jump over this viaduct, but obviously the graboid's going under the ground. It doesn't see it.
Yeah.
And it smashes into the concrete.
Yes.
The reinforced concrete wall. And actually, that kills this particular
one. Yeah, it kind of makes a hole in it and it comes out the other side, but it's dead. Yeah.
But it's pretty much brained itself on it. So it's like a bird flying into a clear glass window.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no.
Which happened at my work. Sorry, another little
no.
tangent. It happened at my work, and the window was so dirty that for months, I'm talking months and months,
oh, no.
there was just a stain on the window of this bird's face with the eye and everything. Like the face had hit from the side so you could see the eye, and where the window was dirty it just left this perfect imprint of this bird. And every time the sun shone on that window, because it was on the window where the printer was, so every time I went to the printer I just look up and see this dead bird's face
just like staring into your soul
on the window. And it was, we found it hilarious. And we also had a pigeon called Gary that was it called Gary?
Pigeon called Gary?
Did we call it Gary? There was a pigeon that used to just come and sit on the windowsill,
longing for his
just
mate.
Stare at the person sitting next to the window, and it was just there all the time.
Did anyone feed it? Anyone like go?
No.
Here's a chip.
No one fed it. It just, but it would like stare into your soul.
Do you know what I'm really tempted to do?
What?
Like I'm tempted to try and train some crows.
How?
Well, basically, you just leave out food for them, and eventually they'll start bringing you gifts.
Like what though? What gifts will they bring you?
I don't know. But how cool would it be? Like being these are my pal crows.
But when you say train them what? Just to bring you stuff?
Yeah, just to bring you stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're like really loyal. If you piss off a crow, like
if you can train them still.
they'll remember you.
I'll be impressed.
It'd be amazing. I'd love it. I want to do it.
It's a weird ambition to have, but
no, I know, but I think it's really cool. Just like find some crows, give them some raw meat. There you go. Happy days. Keep going back until they're like We know you. Here's someone's watch we nicked. Thank you very much, crows. I start my criminal empire. Leave this podcast rubbish behind. There we go. What are you going to do? This time next year, I'll be a millionaire. I'll literally be the Fagin of crows.
So your get rich quick scheme is just to steal, basically.
Well, not me steal. Officer, I didn't know the crow stole this.
The crows are literally going to lead the police back to you because they're going to be bringing you the stuff. So once they get onto this thieving gang of crows, they're going to follow them.
Put me in jail. I'll do, bud. No problem.
They'll follow them with. You'll be singing like a bird when they catch up with you.
It wasn't me, copper. It was the crows, I tell you. Oh.
They could just get a drone to follow those birds back, and then they'd lead them straight to your windowsill.
Yeah, I know, but then I'd be like, listen, all I did was feed these crows once. They keep bringing me these things. Yeah, but you don't have to fence them. Well, I mean, to be fair, okay.
You didn't turn them in, did you?
I did that. Oh, God damn it. You've just picked apart my dreams.
Ruin all your dreams, don't I?
God.
Get better dreams.
Looks like I'm doing this podcast lot for a little bit longer.
Yeah, because this is really raking in the coin.
This is raking in the coin. We do it for the love of it.
We do it for
the love of it. We do it so we can catch up for 2 hours and then watch a movie until midnight. Midnight.
I mean, the money would be nice.
Nah, it's never going to happen. I hate to bust your bubble. We're not like one of those famous podcasts, you know. We're not famous enough to start a podcast and instantly have millions of listeners.
Yeah, that's true. If celebrities just get instant...
But you know what? I don't care about that. I don't, because the people that listen to us, I love them for the fact that they keep coming back.
Yeah.
For more punishment. And God loves a martyr.
They obviously love the 80s.
They must love the 80s.
We cover a little bit of politics every now and then.
Yeah.
What else do we talk about?
Oh...
all sorts of random shit.
Sometimes we talk about a movie.
Sometimes.
Every
now and then you get a couple of minutes of movie talk, if you're lucky.
Interspersed with other bits. But yeah, you know. Are we a little Susan of movie? a little Susan. Don't want to give them too much. Got to keep them wanting more, isn't it? Words I live by. I'm not going to tell you any of the other words I live by. I'm going to do the tangent. That's one of my favourite things, right? Yeah. I shamelessly stole this. I've got no issue saying that.
Yeah.
But I once posted on my status on Facebook when I used to do that. Now I just share the odd like funny picture I see, right?
Yeah.
I honestly can't think the last time I wrote a proper status on Facebook.
No, same.
And like I put on there, I live my life by 2 rules. Number 1, don't tell anyone everything, or don't tell people everything. Right, and I left it at that.
Yeah.
Shamelessly stolen. That's a classic joke. Yeah. Anyway, in the comments, a guy that I used to work with, his name's Bahar, right?
Yeah.
He put, what's number 2? Oh.
My biggest...
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Biggest hate on Facebook, which has always been a hate, and it always will be, is when people put a status up, oh, so angry right now, or like, I don't know, they'll just put something up like,
again, or
oh, this is a terrible start to the year, or and then, oh, you okay? And then all the comments, you okay, hun? What's wrong? Inbox me. You know where I am if you need me. And you know when you're like, or they'll say things like, someone will say what's wrong, they'll be like, oh, it's personal, and you're like, don't put it on your status then. Like, if it's so personal, it's so cryptic. Like, why have you put something on there that people are clearly going to ask if you're okay? Is it just for attention? Is it just attention seeking?
I know. Of course it is. But
it must be.
I'm just going to put this out here. Social media has done that to us. It makes us think
we've got to announce
all
everything.
Of our personal stuff to have some sort of validation.
Yeah.
Not everybody does that, but like social media has taught us that if something happens to me, I need someone else to go, that. Oh, I like that. And I do it.
And also,
I'll post stuff about my life and then think, why have only 3 people like that? I'm important to people.
Someone said to me once, they call it smug book, because it's like when people are pretty much bragging about their lives. And I've definitely got people on there who, maybe people I went to school with, people I'm not really in touch with now, but all they do is like, oh, I'm on this holiday, I'm on this night out, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And you're like, okay, no one gives a shit.
They don't realise. I'm £30,000 in credit card debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, when people are just constantly posting their holiday pictures, I think, go and enjoy your holiday. Like, why are you so obsessed with posting it all about? Like, I've posted holiday pics on Facebook before, like the odd one.
Usually be when I've gotten back and I want to clear them
or
off
I
my
might
phone.
do like one and put a status up when I'm sitting there bored. Not bored, but like sitting there, I've got 5 minutes or whatever. But when they put sets and sets of photos up, having such a great time, and I'm like, are you? Because you're sat on Facebook. Like, go and enjoy it.
I'm having a great time, but I need people to know
I need
I'm
people
having
to know
a
I'm
great
having a
time.
great time. And I need them to always be like, oh, wow, that looks amazing, hon. Like, you look so good. Like, where are you? What? Oh, just... Oh.
Same place I've gone every year. Magaluf.
Yeah. And I still can't afford it, but I'm still going.
Yeah,
just
still
so I can
going.
brag about it on Facebook.
Yeah. And I'll book it again as soon as I get off this. As soon as I get off this phone. Right. So anyway,
we're doing really well on the tangents.
We're doing amazingly on these tangents. Right. So this graboid has died, but they discover they absolutely stink as well. Rhonda turns up and kind of sees what's happening, and she makes an appearance now. But they realise at this point that actually, wait a second, these snake things are actually like the tongues of these graboids, and they're actually several meters long.
Oh, they're huge, aren't they?
Rhonda checks her seismograph and is like, oh my god, this is what's causing the sort of mini earthquakes. It's them moving through the ground. And she realises that, wait a second, this one's dead, but actually from my records and the seismographs, there must be exactly 3 more of these monsters. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 3 of them head back to Perfection. Okay. And another one of the creatures tried to capture them, but they could only see a trail of dust flying as they realised that the monsters are travelling through the soft soil of the valley. But this is Rhonda applying like science and like evidence to the monsters. So she's like, well, wait, okay. So they're going through the earth. We can see these plumes of dust coming up. So that we'll be able to kind of track them. That will mean we know that one of these graboids is coming along. But yeah, so they're going to. So obviously Rhonda's kind of genius, or at least education, is going to be helping people here. But yeah, Val, Elle, and Rhonda, they all run for dear life, and they end up on some tall rocks, and they know the creatures can't get up there. But the creatures are very patient. They know they're on the rocks, but they can't get through the rocks to them because the rock is too hard. Now they're stuck there for a while, but then, and again, Rhonda deduces that about like they can sense them because of the vibrations that they make on the ground, and that's how they're tracking them down. So they have a plan to, and they pole vault from rock to rock to rock to get back to the van or to her truck, and they get out and get back to Perfection. So they're back in the drugstore. They're all trying to decide what to call the monsters. You hear things like snakeoids and all that sort of thing, but they settle on graboids.
Because they grab people. The
name is stuck, yeah. We've got the young kid Melvin. He's still mocking Elle and Val a lot. But Val, at this point, they're like Melvin's outside bouncing his ball.
Yes.
And then the ball just doesn't come back up from the ground. And like they freak out and everybody scatters and they're all in different places. And then they're like, nobody make a sound. And then it cuts to Mindy, one of the young kids, bouncing up and down on her pogo stick.
And it's really loud, isn't it?
And it is just bounce, 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 tremors after tremors. Val risks his life running to save Mindy. And she's got her headphones on as well, so it's even harder. But Mindy and her mother end up in their house. We've got Melvin in like a little outhouse, and everybody else is in the convenience store, the general store.
Okay? They run back in, don't they? And
yeah,
it's obviously underground.
There's a great scene with those those wooden slatted veranda on the store, with the graboids going under it and the slats are going up. Brilliant. I love that. So they're stuck in there and they're thinking, oh god, what are we going to do? Ultimately, things start to go wrong for them because, like, the ice making machine starts going off.
Yes, and it's really loud.
So like they're trying to be really quiet, but it's too late. This thing is causing so much noise, and one of the graboids comes up, smashes up through the ground. The tongues come out, and we lose Walter, the general store person.
Yeah.
But it's at this point that they all climb up on like the stacks in the store.
Yeah.
And Val has the idea of going up onto the roof, but before they can get up onto the roof, like the shelf units, they topple over. Rhonda's on top of the shelving units, and she goes out the window. Everybody rushes up to the roof of the general store to try and see if they can see her, to try and help her, but she's gone. And they're like, and Val is like, you can tell he's a little bit heartbroken, but then she's like, "Hi, I'm over here." She's made it up the water tower opposite.
Yeah.
But they do tell everyone to get up onto the roofs of the things that they're in. So Melvin climbs up onto his roof.
Mindy and her mum
climb up onto their roof, etc., etc. So they seem to be safe, but the graboids are really clever because they start attacking the foundations of the general store and destroying the house. One of the guys, Nate, I think his name is, or Nater, something like that. Nestor. His name's Nestor. He goes flying off, and he gets eaten as well. And they're destroying the general store. Now at this same time, there's a little bit of quiet, but there's a CB radio. So we've got Bert and his wife, the Doomsday Preppers. They're in their sort of setup back at their own place. Yep. And like the CB radio, they're talking to them, and they I think it's like an ammunition hopper.
They only just get back into their place, don't they?
Yes, they just get there.
They end up getting on the CB radio, and they like get up on your roof. But they're by this point, because they've made their way back. Yeah. The graboids have noticed their motion, and they followed them.
That's right.
So they get into the house, or they get into not the house, where they've got all the guns.
Yeah, it's in the house, but it's below the house. They've got a bunker below.
They've got a bunker. Yeah. So they're in the bunker with this wall of guns, and the graboid gets in, and they start shooting at it, don't they? Yeah,
they do, and they end up killing one of the graboids because of it, because they have like guns after guns. They've got M16s, they've got elephant rifles, all sorts, and they take it out. So they let everybody know that they are alive. Where am I in my notes here? Yeah. They fight back with the weapon. They kill one of the graboids. So we know that we've only got 2 left. Okay? Yeah. So the survivors decide they've got a bit of a plan on this roof. They want to get out of there. And there's a small tractor that they think, okay, if we set this tractor off running in one direction, then that will draw off the graboids, and then they can run and get a bulldozer, attach it to a trailer that's nearby, and get everyone in the trailer and get off to Bert's and his wife's. I can't think of her name. Did I make a note of it? Bert, sorry.
Bert and Ernie.
Yeah. God. Oh God. Bert and no, I didn't have her name written down. Anyway, the Gummers. Their surname's the Gummers. Okay. So they're going to get there, and then they're going to get all their stuff, and then they're going to use this kind of big trailer and get out. Because
they've decided that that's too heavy.
Yeah.
For them to pull down, because they can pull cars down, can't they? Yeah. And also they've got no vehicles left now, have they?
Yeah. There's no access to any vehicles, because that's another thing that happens. They say to the Gummers, "Oh, have you still got your truck?" And they're like, "Yeah, our truck's still working." But then the graboids destroy the tires on the truck, and it's like
truck's gone. So it's like they know, they're listening.
It's almost like they are listening in. They're very smart. They're very smart. So the survivors pick up the bulldozer. Okay, they turn it on. They get to the Gummers, and they've got lots of weapons. They've also created some pipe bombs. Of course, they've got the ingredients for a pipe bomb. And however, though, we do find that the graboids are supremely intelligent, because while they're driving this like bulldozer across the desert, they see the graboids doing stuff in the distance, and they think, oh, fine, whatever they want to do. But as they're driving, effectively the graboids have laid a trap by loosening the earth in front of them, so the whole bloody thing sort of crashes and crunches down into this trap that's been made for them. Now everybody gets off and they run to rocks, and they're all stuck on the rocks, and they are just sitting there waiting, surrounded by the two graboids. Now they've got a little bit of a plan. They think, right, we've got all this dynamite. What we'll do is we'll throw rocks to find where the graboid is, and then we'll throw, I'm doing a lasso movement, and they'll throw the, what's the name? What is it? A pipe bomb, and onto the ground so the graboid eats it. This works for the first one, no problem.
Yeah.
They blow it up, they kill the graboid. There's only one left now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so tense. Okay. So they think, great, we'll do it again. They throw the dynamite, okay, or the pipe bomb. The graboid swallows it down, but then it spits it back out at them.
Yeah.
And the dynamite lands on the rest of the dynamite. The pipe bomb lands on the rest of the pipe bomb. Everybody scatters, it blows up. And then it's at that point they've got like one pipe bomb left.
Yeah. And
lots of people are stuck out on the ground. Kevin Bacon's stuck there, and he's like, he can't move because of the graboid there. And he realises he's got a plan. Some people, they distract the graboid for a little bit, and it goes one way, but then Kevin Bacon's like, I'm going for it. I've got a plan.
Yeah.
Fred? No, not Fred. Played by Fred Ward.
Mm-hmm.
He goes running with them, as does Rhonda, and they are running. They are getting close to the very edge of a cliff, and they're waiting for this graboid to get closer to them. They set light to it, and he throws the pipe bomb, but it goes behind the graboid.
Yeah.
And when the explosion goes off, because it's really loud, it kind of like. We've seen this. Sorry, I meant to mention it earlier in the film. They throw these pipe bombs to chase the graboids away because the noise hurts them, so they run away.
Oh yeah.
So by him throwing the pipe bomb behind the graboid, when it explodes, the graboid goes faster to get away.
Yeah.
Can't stop in time. Bursts through the cliff.
Yeah.
And goes falling to its death. It's death, and everybody is saved because the fourth graboid is now dead. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's really the end of the film, but everybody's alive. Elle eventually coaxes Val into finally asking Rhonda out. Val tries to fight it a bit because Rhonda's a university student. She's got a great future ahead of her. He's got zero prospects, etc. But
classic
he's
love
like,
story.
Yeah, I know. Just get on with it.
It's like Jack and Rose.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. However, there is a final scene in the movie that shows some loose dirt moving on the dry soil of the valley, proving that there is at least one more
sequel.
creature available around.
There obviously is, because there's like 7 sequels.
Yeah, there's several sequels indeed, yeah. I mean, that scratches the surface of Tremors.
Yeah. Okay,
absolutely scratches the surface of it. I'm imagining, as I'm talking through the movie, if you've not watched Tremors in a while, you're probably going, oh my God, there's so much of this I actually remember without realising it.
I hadn't watched it for about 20 years, maybe a bit, maybe 15. Mm-hmm. And there were so many bits. I'd obviously watched it a few times when I was younger, because there were so many bits in it that I was like, oh yeah, I remember this so clearly. I know
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is mad. And I've probably watched it more recently than you.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because I mentioned to my daughter Emily today that we watched Tremors last night, and she was like, oh, I remember. Yeah. I remember you saying, we're watching this film and watching Tremors.
Well, I tried to persuade Brody to watch it over Christmas, and he just didn't go for it. I was like, it's a great film. We've got to watch Tremors. We watched The Mist, but we didn't finish it. And I still need to finish it, because you and my sister said, oh, what about the end? And I was like, we didn't get to the end because Brody got bored and turned it off. But he was quite into it at one point, but then he's just got no attention span.
I can honestly tell you now that anyone listening to this is sitting there going, you've seen everything but the end of The Mist.
I'm pretty sure I've watched it before, but years ago, because it was pretty familiar to me. But yeah, I can't for the life of me remember how it ends, so I will watch the end of it.
If you have seen The Mist before, there's no way you won't remember the end.
Oh, right? So maybe I've not ever watched the end then. Maybe because the beginning bit was familiar.
Or your brain has blocked the
Is it
memory
that-
of it to
Is
protect
it
yourself.
bad or is it funny? Just tell me that. Don't tell me what happens because I will watch the end of it. Because you
It's
intrigued me.
harrowing.
Okay.
Harrowing. The end.
Listen, you say that I wouldn't forget it, but you don't. It's quite a skill. I can forget things quite a lot, quite easily.
I mean, sometimes we watch a movie the night before,
And I forgot
and then
by
the next day
night.
I'm thinking,
oh yeah,
what happened in that film again?
yeah. I mean, that's got to be an
Yeah.
age thing, hasn't it?
Oh, I hope not. Well, I've already had to go up a strength in my glasses because of my age. I don't want to have to
Well,
lose memory.
My eyesight's been terrible since I was young. So
yeah, right. So Tremors rocked my world.
right. So
I love
we
this
have
film.
got to now clutch at straws and try and find a few bad bits in this
The
movie.
bad bits of this film.
I have got a couple of bad things.
Oh, okay.
But that's literally it, a couple of bad things.
Mm-hmm.
So what categories?
So
Did
I
you
have props.
Yeah, I've got props.
Definitely deaths.
Yeah,
Okay. Lines as well.
lines, but all my lines are good.
Yeah, all my lines are good. I do have a bad
That's all
prop.
I have.
I do have a bad prop.
I don't know if mine counts as a prop. It doesn't really count as a prop. But yeah, you say yours.
And I do, I mean, I do have a kind of a bad death as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll start with my bad prop, right?
Yeah.
And I think actually it's a bad prop just because it's like, well, that was a waste of time kind of bad prop.
Okay.
So the doctor, he's getting sucked down into the earth, right? And he's
Yeah.
screaming and screaming away in pain.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they are building a new house, so there's a lot of
Yes.
kind of,
building products,
stuff lying
yeah.
around. And she grabs like a 2x4 bit of wood,
Mm-hmm.
and she gives it to him so that, like anyone being sucked down into a hole, you've got
Like
something
quicksand
to
or
cling
something.
onto. Exactly. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I always thought quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem.
I think all of us 80s and 70s, 80s kids did think.
What was it with quicksand being
Because I
like
think it was
a
in the
dangerous
comics and it
thing
was in
in
movies and
movies?
stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And like TV
Why
shows.
why was quicksand so prevalent in them
I
though?
don't know.
It's like, I mean, I get, being suffocated in
I have
like
no
that
idea.
sort of thing is terrifying. But who suddenly thought, you know what? Quicksand doesn't get used a lot. Let's use this.
Do you know what though? I had an experience that was similar to quicksand in that. So this was years ago.
Okay.
It was probably about 15 years ago. I went for a walk at the Y Downs.
Right.
With my ex,
Mm-hmm.
and he decided in his wisdom to take a shortcut getting back to the car. So we'd gone for a walk at the Y Downs, and then we'd got back up to the top, and we could either walk round this field that had cows in it, or we could go straight across this field, which I don't even know where we were, because I went there recently with the kids. Well, say recently, last year, with the kids, and there wasn't any fields with cows in.
There was the Wide Downs property was. They
So,
all got decimated by
I don't
Tesco's.
know, but there was definitely a field
Okay.
with cows in it.
Yep.
And it's opposite the wedding venue, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So we're just there on this, I don't know, Saturday, and he decided, instead of walking around this field, I'm going to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I stayed back and thought, it looks pretty. It rained quite a lot. It looked pretty muddy to me, and I was
Sure.
like, I'm not sure we want to go through there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he took about 2 steps into this field, and literally it was the funniest thing, because he just went step, and he was in the mud up to his knees.
Oh my God.
And I thought, how on earth do I get him out of there? There's no solid ground around him, so it's not like you can pull him out anyway.
Yeah.
And there was no way I could pull him out.
Jesus.
And all I was thinking was, I can't go and there was a wedding going on at the wedding venue opposite, and I thought, there's no way I can go and ask guys from the wedding to help, because they're in suits, all like smartly dressed for this wedding. They're not going to go in a boggy field and try and pull him out.
No.
So I can't remember how, but he managed to get himself out somehow. I don't even remember how he got out of this.
Were his
He lost
shoes
his
stuck?
trainers.
Oh my God.
I think the trainers came off, but he managed to get them. Literally, he took his jeans off in the car and his trainers off, because he was like, they were absolutely caked. I still to this day, I can't remember how he managed to get himself out, but he did get himself out. But at one point, I was actually panicking, thinking, this might be like, you might live here now. This is it. Which, looking back, it wouldn't have been a bad thing to leave him there like a scarecrow. But yeah, it was like a proper moment of panic where you think, what do I do? I can't. So that's the only thing I can sort of compare to quicksand. It was like he was sunken into the mud so far down.
Yeah.
That I was like, you're never going to get out of there.
That's it.
And obviously he did. But
you're a bog man now.
But I was like, that serves you right for thinking you know better, because it was clearly, the ground was clearly wet. But it was funny because you couldn't see quite when it was, and then he was just gone, disappeared. Like, it was ridiculous, and it
would have solved a lot of problems there, Emma.
Yeah, I know. Could have just left him there. I mean, he got himself out though, so it wouldn't have worked. But
you could have been down the road and gone.
That's the closest thing, that I've had to quicksand.
So when I was young, I stepped in wet concrete, and didn't realise it was wet. Yeah. It didn't go that far. It went up just past my ankles. And if you think, when you're young, I mean, I was like 6 or 5 or 6, so it was not that deep. But like, I remember looking at it and thinking, I'm going to run across this because, there's just like building sites close by. You're a kid, idiots. You play. Yeah, And so ran across, feet down, right up past my ankles. That was it. Done. Yeah. Gone. That was it. Oh, God damn it. Isn't it? Yeah. Quite new trainers. It was my Adidas as well. I remember.
Parents replaced.
Yeah, because I remember. I can't remember the style of Adidas, but it was the black Adidas with the white stripes. Yeah. And remember it had. I don't know if you remember, but it was the white stripes. They had like the zigzaggy sides. It wasn't straight stripes. Yeah. Not gazelles. I can't remember exactly what they were, but they were black, white stripes. Oh, loved them. Boom, straight in the concrete. Yeah. Yeah, painful times. Anyway, the doctor's wife hands him this 2x4 bit of wood, and it goes to put his weight on it. Instantly snaps. Okay, and my note is literally like, so he's being sucked down into the earth. Wife hands him a plank of wood to secure himself. Instantly snaps. Now he's got splinters to deal with. Yeah, he's been sucked into a monster, and
it doesn't matter. He's gonna be dead soon. So it's the least of his worries, isn't it?
It's like, it's not,
just
what
adding insult to injury.
Like, ow, ooh, ooh, splinter, that's
going to taken his mind.
That's going to get sepsis.
But it might have taken his mind off of being eaten by the graboid, though.
Yeah,
for a split second before he died.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I did find it funny. It's like the one weakest bit of wood she could have possibly found. Yeah, here you go.
Helpful.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's like a bad prop or if it's just like it was meant to be. It was meant to be useless, or I don't know. But I'm going to say that was a bad prop. I'm going to say that was a bad prop. Did I just delete my notes? No, I did that thing where I pressed a button to create a new note. Yeah, I mean that's my bad prop.
Okay.
What have you got?
Mine's not really a prop, I don't think.
Okay.
So when they do shoot the graboid, or anything happens to it when it gets wrapped around the car as well, I think it sort of splatters out with what I assume is its blood.
Oh yeah,
but the blood just looks awful. I know they're creatures, so it might not be the same as our blood, but it's almost like a marmalade.
Yeah, kind of orangey.
Orangey, and the consistency is weird, and that just looked really crap. But I think thinking about it, because they're these weird alien creatures, that's probably deliberate, because it's not going to necessarily like human blood, is it? If it's some kind of...
that's the thing, isn't it? Most animal blood is the same colour as ours, isn't it?
Yeah,
most, I would say. I don't think there's anything with different colour blood.
Whenever I guess...
But I like the idea. I like the idea of them having like a different physiology completely.
Because they're almost not of this world, are they? They're kind of alien looking.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe like the second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh movie they go into their origins, and maybe there's something from outer space. Maybe there's something primordial that came up through the ground and missed the evolution of humans and us going into red-blooded mammals or whatever. Right, now, I have like a bad death.
Yep.
And the thing is, we see a lot of people getting sucked down into the earth, okay?
Yeah.
And then that's the end of them, okay?
So that's what I had down for.
Yeah.
So I've got one good death.
Go on.
But the bad, I just put everybody else for bad because when they just get sucked into earth and you don't see it.
Yeah.
So, and we talk about this all the time, but we like to see the death.
One. I was all right with the doctor one because he gets sucked down into the earth, but he's like, and it's ages and he's in pain and it's hurting and all that sort of thing. But then there's other times where people are just literally sucked down and that's them gone in seconds. And that's it. And I don't want that. I want to see... I want to see humans in pain. That sounds awful, but you... No,
but from a movie like this, we do want to see good deaths.
Yeah.
We want to see inventive. We said this before, original inventive deaths. We don't just want... We've had movies where it's the same thing every time. Like Cocaine Bear was a bit like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. The bear suddenly mauls you. Oh,
we love it when they get inventive. I mean, that's why we love things like Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
Put a snake in a microwave and cook it. Like, or like, I know I always talk about this, but Piranha, where he makes the piranha smoothie, he gets the propeller thing. Like, just things like that. Just come up with some good, funny ideas of how they can kill things.
And that's the thing. I'm sure with a monster that comes up from underground, there's lots of different ways that you could do it. There was one death that was okay with someone getting sucked down. It happened so quickly though, but it was like them getting sucked down through. They ended up sitting on a tire. It's the Nestor fella. He ends up like on a tire, thinking he's safe, but then he gets sucked down through the middle of the tire.
Yeah.
But there was none of that kind of like, oh no. Oh,
it's just gone straight away.
And then seeing them being folded down. It's like far too fast.
Yeah.
Gone.
And you don't actually see the graboid. It's just the sand go.
Yeah.
Or the grout or the dirt or whatever it is go, and then
it's almost like they're less effective when they come up over the ground, and they do that so much.
Yeah.
And then they're like super stealthy, and they're gone. And it's like that's another issue with the film is like there's no consistency over the graboids. It's like why would they come up out of the ground where they don't have the same sort of movement?
I feel like we get inconsistency with every whether it's inanimate objects or animals killing or whatever it is might be that's going on this killing spree.
Yeah.
In most of the movies we've watched, we've had a lot of inconsistency with how they kill, or like either the method they use, or sometimes they do something to somebody and it kills them, and sometimes they do the same thing to somebody else and it doesn't. So we've had that a lot, haven't we? Yeah,
and I think that's the thing, isn't it? Writers write themselves into like a dead end.
Corner, yeah.
And they're like, oh, actually, if I was following the rules of what happened to this person,
that doesn't work.
The main character would die in this instance. So they end up giving them plot armor and they don't die, or suddenly the monster is stupid. When actually our graboids are bloody clever because they know to take out the foundations of the general store to weaken it and get them down onto the ground. They know to do other things, or and it's like
it seems like halfway through the movie they get quite clever.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere.
Yeah. But I mean, that's really my issues with the film, or my kind of topics there. The bad prop, the fact that the deaths could be a lot better.
Yeah.
And like the consistency with the and because of the deaths, like the consistency of the monsters and their effectiveness.
Yeah.
That's kind of my issue with the film.
So is that all the categories you've got?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. So how would you improve Tremors?
I think I said to you before we recorded I didn't have much of an idea, but I think that's what I'd work on is the consistency.
Yeah.
But it would have to be quite a bit of a shake up, and the humans would have to end up being smarter in how they maybe got around as well, because it's almost like as soon as they put their foot on the ground, it's like the floor is lava effectively in this film.
Yeah, and I guess though with these movies, if there is complete consistency with how they kill, then that kind of causes you issues as well, because the people that are dealing with them will soon get wise to a pattern and work out a quicker way to deal with them. Whereas if it's a bit inconsistent, it's like, oh, they can do this and they can do that, and you're unpredictable.
I mean, there was one
so
point where Kevin Bacon's character was standing on the ground, and there was one of those little snake things going back and forth, and he kept lifting his foot over it and over
Yeah.
it. And each time he was putting his foot on the ground, and that's
Whereas other
causing,
people just would have been sucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that would be causing vibrations, and he should be sucked down.
You can't do that because he's the main character.
Exactly.
So...
And could you imagine Kevin Bacon, the graboid, eating them? It'd be like, now I want some eggs.
I knew you were going to make a stupid joke about bacon. That wasn't his name in the movie.
No, I know.
Okay, so I think how I would
Go
improve
on.
it is, and this is only based on the sequels really, because we know there's lots of sequels, and we did have a quick look
Right.
about, in the beginning when what each sequel is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would just have a little bit of an explanation. Where have these creatures come from? Why all of a sudden are they here? Because this hasn't been an issue for this town, and all of a sudden there's 4 of these massive graboid things under the ground.
Yeah.
So where have they come from? And also, one of the sequels that you read out was that 100 years ago they had the same issue. So I think this is one of the later sequels.
Yeah.
So 100 years ago they had this issue in this town. They dealt with it somehow. And then they've waited 100 years and they've come back.
Yeah, that's
How
the
have
thing.
they produced? Have they come from a different area? And also, if that was the case and they'd been there 100 years ago, that story would have been told and told and told. And every generation for hundreds of years would have known the legend of the graboids that have killed people
and look, and I understand. So I get that.
Surprised by it, they would be like, "Oh, they've come back," and they would also have some methods, maybe, of how to kill them or know a bit about them.
And maybe there could be like a whole sort of thing where there's people like, it's just an old wives' tale. It's just an old story. It's not real. And then you've got this moment of, holy shit, they're real.
Also,
how
have they come back 100 years later? Where have they come from? There was absolutely zero explanation of where these creatures originated from, how they've got here. Why is there only 4 of them? Because that seems a low number of a species. If it's
it does.
I don't know. There was no. I think that's the only thing I would do to improve it is just explain a little bit more about.
So
where these things come from.
Do you actually want to know the answer?
Oh, is there an answer?
There
online?
is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the sequels do go into it. All right.
Okay, so the sequels do explain.
So the origins of the graboids. So from where or what the this is from the Tremors wiki. Okay.
Okay.
So, from where or what the graboids originate is intentionally kept very vague, but the creators of the film were unconcerned with this detail, offering zero explanations to where the graboids came from in the original film, wanting to avoid the typical cliches of the monster movie genre. I don't know. I sometimes like a little bit of explanation or understanding, even if they just show us, But anyway, the main characters even satirise this convention by attempting to guess where they came from. Outer space, nuclear mutations, genetic engineering, prehistory, all of them offer up. And I do remember that conversation when they were talking about naming them, like where did they come from, etc. Fair enough. That's the way they went. Okay, I think maybe we were maybe making notes, etc. a little bit during that conversation. But the answer was revealed in Tremors 2 when a fossil graboid spike was discovered and dated back to the Precambrian. So the graboids are apparently from Earth or have at least existed on Earth for a very long time, possibly over 1 billion years, thus making them the oldest life form on the planet. Okay.
Right.
Strangely, during the Precambrian period, life on Earth was mostly unicellular and there was no prey large enough for graboids to eat. So a write-up by the Sci-Fi Channel for Tremors, the series. Oh my God, there was a Tremors series. Oh my God.
I did not know this.
They rectify this by saying the fossil was incorrectly dated and actually from the Devonian period, though they don't rule out a possible extraterrestrial origin. So yeah.
Okay.
So, and although they resemble worms, in Tremors 3, the United States Department of the Interior calls them desert reptilians. Oh my God. And in Tremors the series, they were classified as cephalopods based on their intelligence, beaks and tentacles. Because the mouse are like beaks.
Yeah.
And yeah, the snake things are like tentacles, but maybe. But yeah, the oldest species on Earth is what they turn out to be. There you go.
Okay. So but it wasn't explained in the first one.
It takes sequels to tell us.
So had they not had the sequel,
we'd never know.
We wouldn't know. So I still taking this movie as it's on its own, because actually I cannot imagine. I think I've seen the second one possibly. I cannot imagine that the sequels are any good. They're not going to compare to this one.
No,
and also
they're
they
not,
haven't got
no.
Kevin Bacon in them, have they?
No, but the second one does have Elle.
Yeah.
Has got him in it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen it years ago, but only
played
once,
by Fred
I think.
Ward. He's clearly Kevin Bacon lost the game of rock paper scissors and didn't star in this one.
Yeah, didn't get his contract renewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is another question I've got for listeners as well.
Okay.
So when we realised there were like 7 of these,
Yes.
and we've already done the first one,
Yes.
we did discuss possibly, do we do a season of just the Tremors movies? And we can't
That
decide if
would
it's a
really
good
shake
idea
things
or a
up,
terrible
wouldn't it?
idea, can we?
I saw the disappointment in your eyes
Yeah.
when I said that one.
But would
Yeah,
that be
I
a good
know.
idea, or would that be the
Well,
worst
it's the
idea
same
we've
thing
ever
as we
had?
thought, like, if we did a whole season of Neil Breen movies, we'd
Yeah.
probably end up being really bored by the
The
end
only
of it.
thing I think about Neil Breen is he's very niche, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
And not everyone will know who he is.
True.
Although
That's our job.
I don't think
to
we'd
bring
get
him to the
bored,
world.
because I mean, come on, those movies
No,
are
you can't
something
get-
else.
I mean, the thing is,
But-
some of the movies are
And there's
really
one we haven't
terrible and
even
they're very
seen.
difficult. I do have all of these movies now, though. Every
I think
single one.
I was going to say I think we struggle to find good stuff, but I don't actually, because some of it's hilarious. So I think we would be able to find good
That's
stuff.
true. So yeah, that is a good
Okay.
question. Do we do a Tremors series?
Yeah, please let us know in the comments if you think that's a good
Yeah.
idea or a bad idea. Because I mean, we've got other ideas for seasons. We can.
Yeah.
It's not that we're desperate for an idea for a season. It's just we just think, would this be a good thing to do, or would it just get a bit the samey? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we'd do it straight away. We'd
No,
maybe
no.
leave it a little bit of time. Let the dust settle, as it were.
We also toyed with the idea of just maybe. I'm just going to ignore these. Do we do the second one as a special?
Yeah.
Well, we do the second one, sorry, and we think when we do it, we decide whether it's good enough to do the whole season,
Yes.
or
okay.
just release as a special.
Do you know what we're going to end up having, right? You know how like we're going to end up having a season of sequels anyway,
Yeah,
right? We'll probably end up with, like, out of all the movies we watch, a season of unnecessary threequels. Like,
yeah,
so, like, you know, we could end up all sorts of things, you know. Because let's face it, a lot of the movies we watch are going to end up with, like, bad movies always end up like this. They always have, like, so many sequels. Like we found out with Tremors, Leprechaun gets loads
Leprechaun's
of
got
sequels.
like 4, isn't it? Yeah.
Eventually, Crank's going to
4 or
have
5.
a third movie.
Eventually, when I get round to writing it.
Right, so shall we score this film?
Yes,
Do you want me to go first?
if you want to. Yeah.
So, I was in two minds, right? Do I
Yeah.
give this film a 6 out of 5? Because it's the perfect film.
Have you never given a 6 out of 5?
I have given one for Poltergeist,
Oh yes.
okay? And can I give 6 out of 5 to yet another movie about people being sucked up? No. No. Right.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the
David.
same thing. It certainly isn't.
Also, no one gets sucked
No,
off in
I
Poltergeist.
know,
You
I
don't
know,
see
I
anything
know, but it
graphic.
doesn't help my joke. It doesn't help my joke. It's a great film.
Yeah.
It is a great
There's
film.
no
I've got a
disputing
lot of
that.
memories of watching it. I enjoyed sitting watching it with my kids. I'm not going to be silly and give it a 7 out of 5. I'm not going to give it a 6 out of 5, but it is absolutely getting a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I was going to say
Absolutely.
the same. No hesitation. It's 5 out of 5.
Yeah. No hesitation.
It's no snakes on a plane.
I prefer it to Snakes on the Plane.
Oh, okay. But you can't argue that it's a great movie and it's
No,
a
yeah.
classic.
It is a classic. And then when I stop and I think, is this the first like B movie, cult movie I ever really watched as a young teen?
Possibly, yeah.
And actually was like, this is brilliant. I mean, don't get me wrong, I saw some terrible movies for the 80s.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But that
we
was
all
just
did.
80s movies, you know, the
Yeah.
Garbage Pail Kids movie or something like that. They were
Yeah.
all dreadful, but you watched them as a kid. You know, Ernest Goes to Camp, that sort of thing. You know,
Yeah.
you've seen terrible films, but this is the first kind of like proper monster B movie that I can remember watching.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait a second. I watched Gremlins before. I watched Gremlins before this, so that's not true. my memory's coming back
Yeah.
to me. So, but this is the first one that I really enjoyed.
It is a great movie. I don't think you can
It's
deny
brilliant.
it.
No, I know. And I've seen this film so many times, and I would not bat an eye to
I
watch
think
it again.
I've watched it quite a few times when I was younger, and that's why it was so.
Yeah.
It was all coming back to me, and I was like, I remember this so clearly. I must have watched it a lot back
Yeah.
then, but I haven't watched it for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is. I mean, crazy concept, but it is good.
Yeah, it is. And I love the idea, a small town of people against
Yeah,
something that they're just actually not equipped to deal with, but they band together and they deal with it. Yes, they lose some of the lesser characters along the way, but
yeah,
like the big characters all remain and stay, and none of the
Yeah.
kids die. The horses die. Hated
Yeah.
that. That was rubbish.
Yeah, it's never great when animals die.
No,
is it?
it's not. It's not. Absolutely not. So just be aware of that if you're thinking of watching Tremors, because
Yeah.
well, let's face it, you've watched it already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nobody here has not seen this movie.
No, I know.
No one listening to this.
And
is
if you
like,
haven't
"What's
watched it,
Tremors?"
Oh my god.
If we've introduced people to Tremors, then we've done a great job.
Oh my god, I'd be so proud.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I mean, I've desperately tried to introduce my son to it, but one day he'll see the light.
So like,
But-
if you're listening to this and you've never watched Tremors, and you watch it,
Yeah.
like, hopefully you like it. If you don't, but if you do like it and you've never watched it before, please let us know.
Yeah.
Please let us know. Let us know what you thought of it. I'd love to hear somebody finding Tremors for the first time and watching it, what
Yeah.
they thought.
Also, if you're a young person, so if you're, say, like in your 20s,
Yeah.
and this, because you haven't grown up with this
That's true.
sort of movie,
Yeah.
let us know what you think of it, because
I love that you think someone in their 20s is listening to us. I love
you
that.
never know. Stranger things have happened. But I mean, I'd like to think we've got all different age groups. So I don't
I'm
know.
sure we do. And there's no metric that tells me age group
No,
of people
that's the thing. We don't know, do
downloading.
we?
No
we
idea.
actually don't know. So it's possible.
It's possible. I mean, is it? But it's possible.
Jurassic Park could happen.
Right. So you've given it 5 stars out of 5.
Yes.
I've given it 5 stars out of 5. 100% recommend this movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Even if you have seen it, go and watch it again, because it's absolutely
It's
worth
worth
it.
it.
And well, now what we are going to do is we are going to go onto the flip side, and we are going to talk about all the good bits
Yes.
of Tremors,
Of which there are many. So
And
please
there
come and
are
join
many.
us over there.
Oh, absolutely there are, and I'm sure we're going to have a really lovely time chatting about it. You could join us on the Patreon over on www.patreon.com/ICBadMovies. It's $3 a month. Look, you can't do
Bargain.
$3 a month, you can't do $3 a month. It will be there for when you can, alright?
Yeah.
But yeah, it will get you all our back episodes of the main episodes. You'll get those a day early as
Yeah.
well when we release them, and every 2 weeks. So yeah, the opposite weeks of the main episodes, we release the flip side, and yeah, it's just everything
We've also
else
got
that we
a few
haven't talked
specials
about.
on there as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we do.
Couple
We've
of
got our
Christmas
Christmas
specials.
specials. We got a few of the bad movies with kids, etc. Where I record with Emma's son Brody, and yeah, come and join us. It's really lovely and cheap,
It's so cheap. Such
and
a
it
bargain.
helps us pay for the movies that we rent.
Yes,
as
there's
well.
quite a lot of them we do have to rent.
Yeah.
So because that always bugs
you know
me.
that when you
with-
pay for Prime movies and you still
I
have to
know,
rent
you
them.
pay a monthly amount, and you've still got to rent a lot of the movies. So that's
Quite annoying.
It
And they're,
bugs me,
they're
but
never on Netflix. They're never on Disney
No.
Plus. They're never on like the ones that you're paying for and get movies for free on.
yeah,
Yeah, it's always on Prime, and you're always having to still pay for them. But
yeah.
anyway, that's me done moaning. Emma, let's go talk about the good bits.
Let's do it.
Bye.
Bye.